Is Wisty good? Well, I'll probably repeat this once I hit start create match here. But he actually beat Diaz just a few weeks ago. He beat him on Hoodie Who's stream. Yeah, these guys are really, really good. There's a pretty stacked roster of one's talent coming out of Brazil right now in particular. Of course, you've got Yan and KV1. They're kind of the OGs. Well, they're not so much OGs of the region. That would be, even older players. So I've just realized I've got the audio muted. Fixed! And let's get stuck into the match. But yeah, these guys are world-class players. Diaz has had tons of success, not just in the South American server, but also on the US East server. And if you're new to this guy, then expect to see a bunch of these kind of plays, because this is what he does. He is probably the most efficient cross-map air dribbler in the game. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Diaz has got some crazy cross-map air dribbling ability, and that's why Wisty pre-jumped him as soon as he took off into the air. And now he scored in the counter-attack. Wisty up 1-0. Now, I will repeat what I said right before the start of this match. Wisty was able to win against Diaz recently on Hoodie Who's channel. So this is a revenge match for Diaz. He wants to beat Wisty. I believe, though, that they are 1-1 all time or something like that. So this is, I guess, the one to separate the tie. I'm just going to double check that, actually, because I'm not 100% sure if they are indeed 1-1. They're 1-1 in this game right now, though, with Diaz getting an equalizer. Both players scoring on counter-attacks to start off game one. Yeah, both fantastic players. I think Yan and KV1 were the first SAM players to really have a ton of success in 1v1. Yan, obviously on LAN at Gamers 8, really took the world by storm. Then started to have online 1 success as well. KV1, ton of online 1v1 success. But Diaz has taken it to the next level when it comes to dominating the US East server. And I believe it is partly, it's not just due to his skill, as Wisty completely bombs that aerial challenge. But it's also due to, I believe, his geographical location. You'll notice Diaz's 52 ping on the South American server. Now, when he plays on the US East server, he usually gets like 80-ish ping, 90, maybe 100. So he's basically got a connection similar to that of European players to the US East server. Love that from Diaz, by the way. Little fake boost grab at mid before stealing the back corner away. Wisty bumped him, though, to even out that, would have been deficit. Oh, look at this by Diaz. He's really made a name for himself in the past year with his aerial attacks, but just an all-around mechanical player. He's got the ground plays also that are just as flashy. Yeah, I imagine Wisty will be a bit of a newer player to you guys at my channel, but I think this is a name you're going to need to keep an eye on, because he is such a phenomenal player. Last match he played on my channel was a loss to another Brazilian, Swift. I mean, the list just goes on. KV1, Yan, Diaz, Wisty, Swift. These are all world-class 1v1 players coming out of Brazil. And look at that from Wisty. It's the OG block kickoff. I've a long time said I wonder why more players don't do this. Kind of pioneered by Scrubkilla some years ago now. Reverse 45-degree kickoff, you could call it, I guess. But it is so good. If you could just block the ball like that, stay with it, get a quick shot off, you might just get a goal. And even if you don't, you're going to be with the ball a lot of the time. You're going to be able to get a follow-up 50-50, even if the opponent doesn't get completely obliterated by it. Wisty clearly got a good read on Diaz. He's very familiar with what he's up against here. Diaz has had tons of success, as I keep mentioning, against top players in NA. Wisty can really skyrocket himself up the rankings with a win against Diaz today. It has been extremely tough for Diaz to get his main style of play going, which is, of course, the aerial game. What on earth has Wisty done there? A couple of times in defense this game, he's just completely missed the ball. He does get away with it without any issues. Look at Wisty there, just messing with Diaz. He doesn't want to give Diaz that clean back wall air dribble takeoff, but Diaz is going to get the takeoff regardless. He, went off the ground there, maybe a bit of an awkward angle, but he will not be denied forever. He is going to get his shots off. I mean, it's pretty hard to stop when you're just starting an attack off your own back wall. Oh, Diaz half flips save and lands on the back wall. That's beautiful stuff. And now a little delayed challenge to try and get an attack started. Wisty's backed way off. Oh, maybe a bit too far back as he nearly lets the ball go into his own net. Just recovered in time to keep that one out. Diaz needs to be ultra efficient here. He's managed to create a scoring opportunity. Shoots low. Wisty reads it. Just inside the last 2 minutes of game one. It is completely tied, but now here comes Diaz back in his natural habitat. Look at that first touch and second touch. As close as you like to the ceiling. Wisty's still there for the save though, and he might have enough boost to get a counter attack down the middle before Diaz can recover. He does take his time though. Wisty. Oh, what a fake! He's just completely done him. Crossbar pitch save at one end, and then did not rush the counter attack. He knew there's a chance Diaz would be back to stop the immediate shot. So he just slows down with the fake flick and then drops the whoops in the quick chat as well. He's trying to get inside Diaz's head, going for yet another win against what many would consider the top 1v1 player in South America. Well, look at this. Wisty trying for a turtle takeoff wall air dribble. I mean, he is flexing on Diaz right now on a 1-goal lead. Absolute confidence from Wisty. Huge bump. Oh, he's only got a save to though. Diaz. He got bumped away from that one and then still managed to fly down and save it. Wisty's trying the cross-map air dribbles of his own, but you can see that he's really running out of boost a lot sooner than Diaz does. Pogo shot, shut down, nice shot says Diaz, and then scores into the open net with just 1 minute remaining. Hard read on the Pogo shot there from Diaz. He knew that was coming. Diaz trip. Oh, he missed the boost though, and Wisty saw that. Loops back in and says thanks. It's becoming more of a quick chat 1v1 than a Rocket League 1v1 at the moment between these two. Oh, look at this pre-jump setup from Wisty. He's just on his backboard. Doesn't work out this time though, as Diaz finds a way through. Is he typing? I can just see him stop moving there for a second. I'm always expecting somebody to be typing if that happens. Looks like Wisty was expecting a flip reset there. Dove in to try and block what would have been the flip reset moment, but Diaz just knocked it over his head instead. Just had a quick double check by the way, so indeed yes, Diaz on the 30th of April was able to beat Wisty on Jorby's channel, and then recently Wisty avenged that loss with a win on Hoodie Who's channel. So this is the rubber match, I believe. This is the one to decide who will have the winning record between two of the best young players coming out of South America right now. Now Diaz with a 1-goal lead, almost able to make it two. It looks like Wisty's trying to pass to himself off the post. He's done it, but Diaz has completely missed the ball. This is not an easy conversion though. Hardly any boost to play with. Has to backflip it over the top of Diaz, who's surely going to still be able to win this one. But that was a whole lot more difficult than it should have been. Wisty's almost kept that up. Tell you what, he didn't have played that badly at the end there, but Diaz managed to get across the finish line. Bit of a messy finish, but his work in the final minute 30 of the game was enough to get him across the line. Wisty literally trolled. I don't know if he's... I mean, there's no way he was expecting Diaz to miss the ball there. It's a tough position because he didn't have a lot of boost. If he knew Diaz was going to miss the ball, or if he just read Diaz missing the ball, then he could have obviously gone for the ball and dribbled it into the open net. No issues. Just, you know, open net dribble with the ball carry. But, I mean, when you're not ready for that, when you're not anticipating your opponent just completely missing, he was probably lining up for something else, and then he's like, oh my goodness, I just have an open net. I didn't prepare for this. I don't know. He probably just didn't think he could get the ball on the very front, or rather, he couldn't get it on the middle of his car. And yeah, if it falls off the front, you don't have any boost. It's GG. You're not going to make it. Here we go, game two. Diaz, for now, taking the game advantage between these two in their all-time show match history. 4-3. They've both swept each other once in the past. Wisty trying straight up pogo recovery there. Not a pogo shot. And he didn't get it right. It's obviously one of the hardest moves in the game to pull off. Oh, big time save there by Wisty. Diaz tried to 50 it in reverse. Wisty deflected into the post. Now here comes Diaz again. Wisty just making sure to play the ball whenever he's in these engagements. Don't want to give Diaz an easy run through the goal, but Diaz will just take it. When he gets up to speed, he just is so hard to predict. You know, that might not look like much, but that jump onto the wall something you guys should all be trying to practice in your own games. Trying to pop the ball into the sidewall as a little pass to yourself while angling your card downwards so that you can recover more quickly than your opponent. Really effective move, not just in ones, but in twos and sometimes even in threes as well. Oh wow, another fake by Wisty. I'm actually a little bit surprised this one worked out so well. I mean, Diaz was nowhere near getting a touch on this one. Wisty was, you know, definitely faking high, so it was it was his intention to fake out Diaz there, but Diaz went so high on the ball. I mean, even if Wisty did air dribble into him, he would have had a chance to low 50 and go through him. Probably a little bit too high on the challenge from Diaz. Of course, he gets that perfect first touch every time, right next to the ceiling. One early reset, high shots on net, and even though Wisty saves it, it's not like an easy collection of the ball. And now he could just go right back and do it again. Diaz threatening the second full pitch air dribble in a row there. I was, I've been talking to apparently Jack a lot about this recently. The new 1v1 meta. I don't know if he says this a lot on his YouTube channel, but he's maybe he's just nostalgic, maybe he's just old now, but he obviously liked the old meta where him and Khaled were just dribbling the ball around in the ground, low 50ing each other, faking each other out, bounce dribbling. And now the way that Jack calls it, it makes sense. His new description of 1v1 meta is that it's like a Pokemon battle where you choose your move, and if I execute it well enough, it's going to work. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, triple reset, started air dribbling off my own back wall. I mean, what is the defense against that? There's no wall near it. You've got a ceiling challenge, full pitch. And yeah, it's pretty tough to light up the moment where you get to intersect the opponent's path, as Wisty here just waits for Diaz to fall out of his way. Diaz gets dunked on his goal line, down 2-1. Cheese Touch, by the way, thanks to the 51-month Prime, and Sombra 52, thanks to the 26-month Tier 1. Says, hey Johnny, how's the secret 1v1 LAN organization going? Yeah, it's going great, mate. Less of a secret now that you mentioned it, but yeah, we're always looking to organise 1v1 LANs, 1v1 events, you know me. That's something that I hope will be coming to you guys in the near future. Oh my goodness, new mechanic from Diaz, everybody. Hope that came through on stream, not just on my screen. That's good. Good line of attack on that challenge by Wisty. Just flying straight in line with Diaz. Oh, switching it up with a pinch here. Now, if Diaz had gone for a wall, like up the wall, ceiling challenge, or some kind of floating challenge like he did before, then that pinch would have gone in. That was on target, it was quick. Diaz might have seen it coming because Wisty did set up the ball a little bit faster than he usually would if he was going to air dribble. Still such a close game between these guys. The first game they played was a 1-goal difference at the end. But this one, even more low scoring than the first. Wisty manages to escape the demo from behind. He knows he's got Diaz boost starved here, so he's just trying to make sure that he can keep it that way as long as possible. That's really what the purpose of that shot was, but it didn't really do its job. That shot was supposed to go on target, deny the back corner boost grab, and hopefully hinder Diaz's recovery as well. Did not work out. Turnover possession. Ceiling reset from Wisty into an interception. That's massive by the player most would consider the underdog coming into today's match. Still up by 1. One of the lowest scoring ones games I've seen in a while. Diaz misses the back corner boost. Wisty wasn't in position to punish it. And now Diaz with the ball carried to air dribble. Shut down immediately by Wisty. That's a tidy boost steal though by Diaz. This is going to give him a chance to get a big air dribble started. It's really what he wants in the matchup, but he's trying to do it from an awkward timing so Wisty can't pre-jump him. That does make it more technically difficult for him to pull off though, and Wisty might have an opening here. Indeed he does, and it's 3-1. You could clearly see there that Diaz was trying to start the air dribble at a moment that Wisty wasn't ready to pre-jump him. He let Wisty pre-jump and then he's tried to get the air dribble off the top of the bounce, not right after the ball bounces, but off the top of the ball's arc. And that is just a little bit more tricky to do, especially against a defender like Wisty, who is now in a perfect position to close out this game. He's trying to turtle air dribble him again. I don't obviously think this is going to work, but Wisty's he's not happy with an easy win, I guess. He wants to make it difficult for himself. And, well, that's what he's gone and done, because now he's a kickoff goal against him, away from losing his lead. So, what does that mean, by the way? Diaz has written something in Portuguese, I would imagine. What does that mean? That might be a chance to the kickoff goal, you know. Not quite. Wisty, quick recovery, but still massive kickoff pressure. Wisty with a little half volley well clear. And a demo to follow up, and that should be game. Surely now. He said almost. Surely Wisty's just going to take the win. No, of course he's not. He's going to air dribble for absolutely no reason. He's going to keep the ball up and go for a fourth goal. Well, he gets the win anyway, but man, he does not want the easy win at all. He's trying to make this as awkward for himself as he can. He did actually manage to get the win, so fair enough. So, Foy, how do I pronounce this? Foy Quase? Is that almost? How do you say that? How do you pronounce that? Somebody type it out as it would sound in English. Yeah, no, I've not really been working on my Portuguese. Couldn't tell you a single word in Portuguese before that one right there. That's a pretty awkward fake kickoff for Diaz. He's got to be careful here. Left it very late to turn at the start of game 3 here. It's a really good pre-jump again by Wisty. He's got a phenomenal read on Diaz. Offensive game. This is something that's so difficult to do. I mean, with 80 ping, Diaz rips some of the best players in the US East to shreds. So for Wisty to be defending this well against him is truly astonishing. I mean, the only players who've really done this to Diaz are Daniel once. One time Daniel played him in Salt Mine 3 Stage 2 finals. He was able to shut down Diaz's offense and really make him look a bit confused about how to proceed. And occasionally Wavy. Wavy does seem to have a good matchup against Diaz where he can just challenge him earlier than Diaz is ready for and nullify most of his game. Other than that, not a lot of players have a ton of success against this guy. Wisty joining an illustrious but short list of players who have succeeded against him defensively. Holy Tier 6er, 70-month Tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Much appreciation for that one. You can clearly see the respect that Diaz has for Wisty's defense. He is saving some boost in the tank to recover with almost every single time. He's going for top shelf every single time on these air dribbles, even with multiple resets, and still Wisty is managing to defend against him. So you pronounce it Foy Quasi, like that. Almost. Foy Quasi. Like if I go up and say that to one of the Brazilians eSports World Cup, will they know what I mean? Not that you really, it's not really an introduction, is it? Just walk up to somebody and say almost. Oh, nice dunk by Diaz. Now that is a good switch up. You'll notice that Wisty's been going for clean interceptions a lot of the time in these air dribbles. So what does Diaz do? Well, he intercepts the interception. And I would not mind seeing more of those from Diaz. Lovely drive kickoff there by Wisty. And even if he doesn't get the boost, look at that. He can still get the demo and the mid boost and possession. Such an interesting kickoff strat, the drive kickoff. I think it's making a comeback at the highest level of Rocket League. But the cool thing about it is you guys can all do it as well. It's very easy. The key with the modern version of it is to try and deflect it into the corner that you didn't spawn in. So you kind of go on the outside of the ball rather than goal side. Now, I've mentioned before, and I do still have this minor criticism for Diaz. I think he should air dribble bump more. I think that would be another good way. You know, we've just noticed one way that he can counter Wisty's pre-jump interception style defense. Hey, thanks for the example, Diaz. The air dribble dunk. If you needed another look at it, there you go. But another way you can stop this is air dribble bumps. You need to get physical. If somebody's trying to cleanly intercept all your plays, you have to get physical. You've got to bump them or you've got to force the ball through them. Diaz has opted for the latter strategy there, and it is working out well in game 3. That's not going to stop Wisty from just backing off and letting Diaz come at him here. He's made it pretty clear that he's happy to let Diaz attack him, but Diaz is heating up. We might need to have a switch up on a defensive strategy from Wisty, because although he does consistently back off of this matchup and let Diaz come for him, it's dangerous to let a player like Diaz start to pop off. dangerous to let him play his own game. I think, you know, maybe an early challenge here or there could do Wisty wonders. Oh, he's out of the game here. That is just in for Diaz. That is 5-1. And in a series where the games have all been 1 goal back and forth pretty much the entire time, this is a monstrously large lead. Diaz, with barely any boost there, managed to reach the ball off the wall in a position Wisty did not think Diaz would be able to reach. Marnik88, thanks for the 17-month prime. Diaz reverse challenge with success. Somewhat open net as well. In fact, super open net. Wisty's recovery, nowhere to be seen. And relaxa. I think I know what that means. I don't know what this means though. What's the second line there say? Relaxa, I've got a good guess of what that might mean. What else are these boys saying though? We've got kick. This means ha ha ha. Just like spamming K. Just means, that's just laughing. Laughs in Brazilian. Or laughs in Portuguese, I guess. What's piada boa? What does that mean? And what is vo ganha isso ainda? What do these things, what do these words mean? Very convincing fake challenge there by Diaz. Wisty bites heavy on it. Does not come away with anything in that exchange. He has to get something going here. He's going to need to play much more aggressively than we're used to seeing from him. And that'll do. Didn't look like the most powerful flick, but it was accurate enough, had enough loft on it to sneak past. He said nice joke, piada boa. Is that a nice joke? What did he say before that? I'm going to win. Wisty said I'm going to win. Diaz said good joke. Yeah, I'm expecting more typing. I know they're just trash talking in English as well. This is looking pretty wrapped up in favor of Diaz. The revenge match, wanting to take the all-time Showmatch lead against one of his young rivals. Oh, he's got an 8th goal past him with a little kind of a pogo shot meets a turtle shot. So there he did recover with that little self-righting mechanism. He landed on his back, decided to flip back over, but that little scoot off the front of the car, you can also get that without, I know you can get that without flipping the car back over. We've seen that plenty of times. Kind of like a catch shot, I guess you could call it. Oh, did he tell him, do you want to go next? Is that what he said to him? Jamanda next to Jamanda next Ja. Is that what that means? Yeah, Diaz is just trying to cause as much emotional damage right now. You can already say next, he says. Dominant win. I mean, this really all does go back to that 3 goal or 4. I think it was actually, well, it was 3 goals in a row that Diaz scored. Actually, I don't know if they were all in a row, but there were 2 air dribble dunks, and then there was 1 flip reset, cross map air dribble. Those goals really, for me, put Diaz on track to win this game. Because when he got that, especially the flip reset at the end of a long air dribble, I think that just gave him his mojo back. He spent the last couple of games before this playing a lot more grounded, playing a lot more timid than the Diaz we're used to see. And then in this game, maybe Wisty gave him a bit too much space. Maybe he gave him a bit too much uncontested flight time. And Diaz just got right back to doing what Diaz does. This is why you don't want to give these players, these young mechanical players, their game. You don't want to let them play their game. Yeah, chat will have to translate this. I don't speak Portuguese. Is that Johnny Boy been a minute? Yeah, I was away for a week and then I had food poisoning for 2 days. Well, I got food poisoning 2 days ago, I should say. So Friday, Saturday nights, I was pretty sick. Couldn't stream. Tonight I can. And then I'm away again. I'm going to Esports World Cup tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not able to stream very much these days. I'm just traveling all the time. But I was able to sneak one in today. And hopefully after I'm back from Esports World Cup, I can stream a bunch in the run-up to RLCS Worlds. That'll obviously be really exciting. Get a little pre-Worlds hype event at EWC, followed by actual Worlds. You definitely wouldn't recommend food poisoning. Yeah, I also agree. I wouldn't recommend food poisoning. It wasn't the worst food poisoning I've ever had, but it was pretty bad. Threw up a bunch. And then yesterday, all I ate was apples, bananas, and crackers because I just could not risk, eating anything else when I've got pretty long flight coming up tomorrow. Good news is, though, it seems to have worked, and that's some good advice for any of you who get food poisoning in the future. Just take a couple days where you eat only boring food: potatoes, bread, honey. What else? Apples, bananas, rice. That's what you need, and that'll help you recover much faster. I don't want to jinx it though, because it's usually like a full week before you're back to normal. Got to avoid things like coffee for a few more days probably, which is probably the most painful thing, I'm not going to lie. The fact that I can't just have coffee every day. That sucks. And yeah, right after this, like I said earlier, I think I'll probably do EWC predictions. Because that's coming up on Thursday. That event starts on Thursday, so pretty stacked lineup as well. Okay, will Wisty get aggressive at the start of this game, or is he going to keep backing off and letting Diaz air dribble from miles away, uncontested? So far, the answer is yes, as he challenges head on. Not a reactive challenge there. Nice spot on the shot there from the back corner as well. Wisty correctly read that Diaz was going to go for a demo on him and just shot right over his head. Yeah, I do want to see Wisty challenging head on more. I want to see Wisty challenging in Diaz half a lot more as well. Even if he just does it one time, I think that would be a big help, shutting down Diaz's aerial game. I think earlier on, games 1 and 2, Wisty did a much better job of just positionally denying those big air dribbles. Very good position here for Diaz. You already know what he's going to do. Perfect first touch right next to the ceiling. He actually clipped the ceiling a tiny bit there though, so I take it back. Not perfect. He wants to get it as close to the ceiling as possible. It's all about the height on that first touch. It's pretty good advice for any of you trying to improve your air dribbles. Is try and get enough height on your early touches that you don't need to look for height on your later touches. Because if the latter touches in your air dribble are mainly looking to accelerate the ball, you might shoot this, Okay, it goes back corner, safe. I thought Diaz would just try and shoot that air roll redirect over his shoulder. Played it safe. Did not play the follow-up safe. My goodness. It just absolutely lasers a flick into the crossbar. Yeah, like I was saying, look for height on the start of your air dribbles and then look for acceleration at the end. That's pretty much the formula, and that's also what Diaz does, even at the highest level cross-map air dribbles. Always height on his first couple touches, and then he can go for the resets to start closing the distance to the opponent's net and get a shot off ultimately. Great first touch there by Diaz. Fakes a jump to get Wisty into the air. He has got Wisty in pretty tricky situation here. Wisty in and out save. Doesn't make it. Diaz ties the game 2-2. That must have been pretty close though for Wisty. He timed this about as well as you can. You notice he's hesitating there on the back post. Oh, nearly. I wonder if a front flip would have saved that. Just intersect the ball a touch earlier. Don't think it would have, but it would have been close. Problem with the front flip as well is the front end of your card does dip downwards. Kind of shortens the hitbox momentarily. What are they yapping about? I couldn't tell you. I don't speak Portuguese, unfortunately. I wish I could. There's a lot of Brazilians in the Rock League scene. Portuguese is the national language of Brazil, so it'd be cool to be able to communicate with those guys. Matt Marek, thanks for the 4-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Marnik as well with a 17-month Prime. Well, that was a relatively easy goal there for Diaz. Wisty tried to play that ball into his backboard, recover, get down to the ground and then back up again, but that's just not fast enough, unfortunately. Well, for him, for Diaz, he'll be delighted to see that as he goes up by 1 and now potentially 2. Another fantastic chance for Diaz to do what Diaz does best, but Wisty just ignores him, plays the ball, and this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see him play the ball. Just go full send, straight to the ball, say, Diaz, what are you doing? I don't care if you're faking, don't care if you're getting a flip reset, I'm just going to hit the ball. You're just saying, if those were KSA players, I would not let them speak Arabic for that long. I don't think I've ever had a... what is that based on? I don't think I've ever stopped players from communicating in text chat in show matches. I can't remember a time I've done that. I've probably done that in maybe tournaments. If it's a sponsored tournament, I don't know what they're saying. I'll probably be like, hey guys, can you keep it in English, or maybe just quick chat only, because I don't know what you're saying, and the sponsor might be annoyed if you're just, you know, crossing the line and it looks like I'm condoning it because I don't stop it from happening. But nah, show matches I don't remember ever doing that. Where's that come from? Oh, good read by Diaz. Wisty easily recovers quickly enough though to get back in control. Quick look behind him to see where Diaz was. Knew he was safe to go for the full pitch air dribble. Here comes Wisty trying to hit Diaz with his own medicine. Can't get it. They are such difficult shots to make work. Diaz double jump shot, slot, and a tie game. Oh, are you talking about mods in chat? Yeah, there's a that's different. Listen, that's totally different. If that's what you meant, that's very different. Because, you know, these players, I invite them to come on my stream. I trust them to not say something that's inappropriate, whether it's in their in Portuguese or English, whatever language. But Twitch chat could be anybody. I don't know who the viewers are. I don't know who a lot of the viewers are. They're coming in and typing a language I don't know. Yeah, we've got to time that out because we don't have any way to effectively moderate foreign languages. But are we moderating English in here? No. In game, I mean, no. In the stream, yeah, the mods are in fact doing that. That's what you meant. Meanwhile, that was a really good air dribble bump attempt there by Wisty. He didn't land the bump, but he didn't need to. Just kind of guided the ball in. Oh, he got the boost stolen right under his nose there, though. Just turned back to see where Diaz was. Before he knew, Diaz had flipped past him. Diaz attempts a wall shot. He's off target with it. Threatened to rebound, I should say. I think it's time for a double tap, but definitely passed by there. Wisty just popping a long shot to keep Diaz honest. And you know, it might not look like a real scoring opportunity, but Diaz will turn it into one. He's just laughing at him. Tremendo, what does that mean? Is that tremendous? Diaz just getting the ball over the top of Wisty. Mid-recovery there while Wisty was falling back down. It's all about timing for Diaz. He's going for a quick turnaround here. Could get a shot off. Wisty had to close the distance to the ball. If he went for mid-boost, his net was just wide open. Let's just go see what Wisty's doing while Diaz hits... I think I saw that breakdancing move in the Olympics, actually, what Diaz just done on his post there. What a save by Diaz. He still had a dodge at the end of all that. Well played, as he goes straight down the middle of the pitch for 6-5. But that is all from the defensive masterclass that Diaz has just put on there. Tripping up Wisty on his recovery, intentional or not. That was phenomenal defense out of Diaz on the previous shot. Yeah, we better be careful with that ray gun reference, because I heard they're removing all of those videos from the internet. They might remove this video from the internet as well, because Diaz's impression was too accurate as he just falls on his own post, just starts flopping around. That's why I had to quickly change to Wisty POV. Don't want to get this video removed by the IOC. Right, Wisty needs a goal here if he's going to send us to game 5. He's got the reset. He's way out from the wall though, taking his time with the shot. Pitch on target but low. Right at Diaz. Does he have a bounce? No, he doesn't have a bounce to play with. Diaz wins it. Wisty thought he had a bounce there. Maybe he thought it was bouncing on the curve. He definitely didn't have the time to let that bounce in the air. It had to be the previous attack. It had to be that floor pinch. You know, if he'd managed to floor pinch that top bins, that would have been a world-class finish to regulation. But it wasn't meant to be. He was hoping Diaz would pre-jump, shot low. Diaz held his nerve and wins it 3-1. So he takes the all-time show match record against Wisty 2-1. Diaz, pretty much undisputed number 1 player in the Americas right now for 1v1. He's top of South America, I would say. Jan's not active enough to have a claim and Diaz is, yeah, he's just got such a crazy resume right now. But yeah, the reason I say the Americas is because probably I would put him ahead of all active NA players as well. So I think it's probably a fairly cold take there, but Diaz, I think, number one in the Americas.